Chapter 5. Jesus answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. John 14:16. It is late in the night. Lying on my bunk, I'm still thinking about the negative impact of not being completely honest, particularly to ourselves. Truth is one of our greatest personal strengths. From it, we draw courage to stand up for what we know is right and good. To compromise truth is to weaken the foundation of our spirit and character. I learned this lesson the hard way by making a very big mistake. Life sometimes gives you the test before you've had a chance to study the lesson. Anonymous. Surprisingly, the day my life shifted in a truly negative way began on a beautiful morning in a tropical paradise. I am with three brand new friends, and we are on a surf safari. The Volkswagen bus is just passing out of a light rain on the north shore of Oahu in Hawaii. Looking out the VW's window, I see the morning sun painting a spectacular rainbow against towering dark volcanic mountains. About us, the lush sugarcane fields stretch for miles. The trade winds are playing amongst the sugarcane, causing the grassy fields to ripple like undulating green sea. Inside the Volkswagen bus, we are carrying a full load. The cramped interior is overwhelmed with four surfers, breakfast debris from a Taco Bell, an assortment of towels in various states of cleanness, three surfboards. There are four more on top, and a very excited Great Dane. Currently, the dog, my abnormally large Dane, has his face jammed ear deep into an empty, salsa-stained burrito bag. For some reason, Pooh Bear really likes hot sauce. The spicier it is, the more he likes to wolf it down, though he sometimes whines with his tail wagging at turbo speed. I get his attention with a tortilla chip. Want this, boy? He sniffs, licks, and chomps in what appears to be a single motion. I wipe a bit of dog drool off my hand onto Sam's towel, while he stares intently out the front windshield. Driving requires Sam's full attention. With him behind the wheel, driving is always a challenging experience. All of us are alert to warn him of any possible misadventures. He takes a corner too fast, putting a serious tilt on the VW bus. Everyone inside leans hard to the right, particularly Pooh Bear, who is actually attempting to get closer to Mark's soft taco. Get off of me, you big lug, complains Mark. He tries to push the oversized dog away, mistakenly allowing the hand with the taco to come within muzzle range. Chomp! Hey! Mark is appalled. Your clawed dog just ate my taco. Then, staring at his not completely eaten empty hand, he asks, Is that drool? Oh, wow, I just got dog slimed. I pass him Sam's towel. As the Volkswagen tops a rise between two sprawling sugarcane fields, we get our first view of the coastline. There is a major swell pounding the north shore. Everyone leans forward for a better view, including Pooh Bear, who is actually checking out the front seat for any more unguarded goodies. Looks big, Sam states the obvious while downshifting into third, which causes a shudder that vibrates the length of the van. The front tires had been out of alignment ever since he tried taking the VW bus up a skateboard ramp. Really big, I offer from the back seat. Could be scary, but fun, Mark says hopefully. Wolf, Pooh Bear joins our enthusiasm. None of us, however, know what he is excited about. I think your dog is eating something, says Mark suspiciously, leaning forward to check the front seat. Nothing up here to eat, replies Sam. Kino already wasted all of our groceries. Kino, a large Hawaiian sitting in the passenger seat, pretends to be offended, then belches contentedly and shakes taco crumbs from his shirt. Mark attempts to take a closer look inside Pooh Bear's crocodile mouth, which proves to be a mistake when the big dog abruptly chokes and coughs. A heavy, moist cloud of white bits impacts Mark's face from just inches away. Yuck! He complains loudly, then quickly scrubs at his face with Sam's towel. I examine one of the white bits, instantly solving the mystery. It's Kino's surfboard wax. Oh man! Now Kino is upset. That was a brand new bar. Smells like coconuts. No wonder Pooh Bear ate it. I answer. Pooh loves cracking coconuts with his massive jaws. I rub Pooh Bear's ears, then use Sam's towel to wipe the rest of the wax and drool debris off his broad muzzle, and flick the towel into the back of the VW. 15 minutes later, we arrive at Laniakea Beach Park, and everyone unloads into the parking lot. The surf is bigger than our expectations. We stare in awkward silence. None of us wants to admit that the surf looks really scary. The waves are almost 2 stories tall and crash down with a sound like rolling thunder. I think I'm going to need a bigger board, offers Sam. What do you think? I ask Kino. Is it too big? As a new surfer, I'm having very real reservations about paddling out into what looks to be dangerous conditions. Ah, you guys just need some courage, answers the big Hawaiian. He pulls a marijuana cigarette out of his pocket, lights up, and passes it to Sam. As the joint heads in my direction, I have plenty of time to think if I should really do this. I first tried marijuana in Vietnam during the war. I did not like how it clouded my mind and made a positive decision to avoid other servicemen. I made a positive decision to avoid other servicemen who used drugs. 3 years later, I was transferred to the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Mobile Unit 1, a Frogman Bomb Disposal Command in Hawaii. Being a water-oriented person living on an island paradise, I naturally took up the sport of surfing. However, with the sport came new friends, some who were regular marijuana users. Kino and Mark were such friends. Sam, who only recently tried marijuana for the first time, chokes on the harsh smoke and all but doubles over in a sudden coughing spasm. A cloud of smoke erupts from his mouth and nose as his eyes begin to water. Stuff burns, he complains, then offers the joint to me. From what I've just seen, I know this is not a good idea. Hurry up, Mark complains. The roach is going to go out, man. Everyone is staring at me and waiting. Surfing is such a fun new adventure, and I want these guys to like me. Awkwardly, I grasp the joint, which doesn't look appetizing at all. The lit end of the cigarette is charred and emitting an acrid smoke. The other end is brown and wet with saliva from 2 other people. As I hesitate, Sam gasps loudly and coughs again. Do it, dude, says Kino as he strikes a match, touching the flame to the end of the blackened joint. Reluctantly, I raise the cigarette and, trying not to touch my lips, take a slight pull. Instantly, the acrid smoke burns my throat and lungs. I immediately blow the harsh fumes back out as Mark eagerly snatches the joint from my hand and takes a deep pull. The joint passes from hand to hand, then back to me. It is now barely half an inch in length. My reaction is to throw it away. Kino stops me by saying, "Don't waste it, dude." The Hawaiian has his hand on mine. "Take another drag. Only this time, hold the smoke in." I'm already feeling lightheaded. The smoke scorches my throat again. Then the flame abruptly runs down the paper as the smoking ember flies burning into my mouth. "Ah!" I shout, pawing at my singed lips. "What a lightweight," laughs Kino, knuckling me in the chest. While the other guys begin waxing up their surfboards, I chain Pooh Bear to a coconut tree, after making sure there's plenty of slack in the chain, so Pooh can't wrap it up. I become aware of how strange I feel. It is almost as if my body and I are no longer connected. I find the odd feeling very unsettling. Placing a bucket of water out for Pooh, I rush to join my friends. Mark and Kino are already running out into the water, so I quickly grab my board. "Better hurry," urges Sam. He wipes his hand on his towel, then sniffs suspiciously at his hand. "Wow," he said, wrinkling his nose. "I hope that wasn't something I ate." "I'm feeling really funny," I confided while attaching the surfboard leash to my leg. Sam nods his head knowingly. "Why do you think they call it dope?" At the water's edge, I pause to stare again at the heavy surf. There is a lot of white water and strong, conflicting onshore currents. "Well, here goes nothing," shouts Sam, launching himself into the water. I hesitate, then follow, still feeling very weird and clumsy in my movements. Sam dunks his board under the first oncoming wave, then swims safely out to the backside. Because of my muddled condition, we have forgotten to wax up my surfboard. Without the traction of the rough wax coating, the wave instantly washes me off the slick board. By the time I recover and begin to paddle out again, the other guys are 50 yards ahead of me. Alone, I paddle hard to catch my friends. The surf is breaking with a heavy whomping sound like rolling thunder. It looks even bigger out here, particularly from the flat perspective of lying on a surfboard. As I get farther out, the surf gets bigger and scarier. In my pot-fogged brain, alarms are going off. I want to turn around and retreat to the beach. Worrying what my friends may think, I reluctantly continue paddling out. Peer pressure is a powerful force. Before me, an oncoming wave breaks with a thunderous sound as it cascades into a wall of angry white water. Thrashing my way into the oncoming wall of water, I am again flushed from my board. I surface, choking and spitting salt water, to see my friends paddling frantically up the face of a 2-story wave. Then I see the cause for their haste. Farther out, a freak wave is heading for the beach. It is a giant wave towering 20 feet into the air. Momentarily, I lose sight of the monstrous wave as I begin paddling wildly up the face of the next wave of the set. My heart races with exertion. Reaching the top, I plunge down the backside. A spray of salt water temporarily clouds my vision. Furiously, I paddle, trying to beat the oncoming avalanche of water before it breaks. Already to the top, curl is beginning to pitch. My friends reach the top and disappear over the back. The giant wave is pulling the water before it towards itself, causing it to build and grow even larger. Aided by the oncoming current, I sprint up the turbulent, nearly vertical face. The thick lip throws outward as I struggle to fight my way up and over the top. I feel the gigantic wave pitching forward, pulling the surrounding water and its small human cargo irresistibly backward. I fight the pull, paddling with all my might. At the last instant, I barely break free. Out of breath and exhausted, I slide down the backside of the breaker, and that's when I see the next wave. The first two waves are no more than doormats for what is coming. It is known as a cleanup wave. It wipes everything away that is before it. The wave is only a few feet taller than the last one, but it is much thicker and already breaking. I watch a wall of white water more than 2 stories tall swallow my friends. Taking a deep breath, I push my board away and frantically dive for the bottom. One of the many negative characteristics of marijuana smoking is that the user's awareness and perception suffers. Having already forgotten to wax up my board, I now forgot to remove the surfboard leash from my leg. The surfboard floating on the surface keeps me from getting very deep. I turn to free my leg just as the wall of water crashes into me. It is like being slugged with a hydraulic sledgehammer. The sharp impact pounds the air from my lungs. I feel the surfboard leash go taut. Then it begins pulling me, spinning me wildly in its wake, like an out of control kite in a gale. Soberly, I realize I might be about to die. Instantly, I wish with all my might that I hadn't got stoned. My tortured lungs carry the burden of the damaging smoke. I can't hold my breath much longer as I'm pulled violently backwards through the raging water, wondering if my life is about to end. The thoughts that flash through my mind: who will unchain Pooh Bear? Suddenly, the rubber surfboard leash breaks. Slowly, my terrifying horizontal journey. Struggling with all my might, I barely make it to the surface. Frantically, I take 2 deep breaths before being hit by another wave. I must have taken 4 or 5 trips on the underwater subway that morning. Finally, totally exhausted, the four of us made it back to the beach, minus a broken surfboard. I thought it's the most foolish day of my life, but actually it was just the beginning of a series of stupid mistakes. The most important thing I remember about that day is not the size of the surf. Actually, I would encounter big surf on many other occasions. No, that is the day when I stood on the threshold of 2 possible futures and made a really bad choice. Because of peer pressure and my own foolishness, I would soon become a regular marijuana user. I didn't realize it then, but I was about to become a hostage to marijuana. Later, I would sacrifice positive times with my friends and other fun opportunities just to get stoned. Eventually, the first bad marijuana choice would lead to my incarceration for 3 years in a federal prison. In the darkness of the Winship stateroom, I lie on my bunk and think about choices. People seldom choose to do something wrong by themselves. It is not our enemies who encourage us to do drugs. Unfortunately, it is always a friend, or worse yet, a family member. Bad choices are one of the results of poor relationships. It is a progressive type of corruption that steals the happiness and self worth of all concerned. A real friend encourages his or her peers to make positive life enhancing choices. Positive restraint is a graceful kind of strength. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom, discipline, and understanding. Proverbs 23:23.